I don't think I've met many of my clients face to face. I've met some of them when they invited me to visit them wherever they lived. I went to India last year, for instance, or Spain another time. But apart from that, we rarely meet. I do mostly mixing and mastering, mostly for clients from all over the world, online, pretty much exclusively. When I was studying in Vienna, that was 2009, I started that course before the iPhone came out. Meaning also, I started the course before the demise of the music industry as we know it. So I remember one day walking into school, I think it was after the first semester, and everyone had these weird little gadgets with a massive touchscreen and they were listening music to it. And yeah, that was basically when iPhone came out, and that was also when digital recording and home studios took over more and more. Before that it wasn't quite as possible. So at that time when I started, I thought big studios were there to stay and that there would always be a job. That was the fantasy that I believed in as well. I believed that after I finished there, I would get some entry-level job in a studio and I would work myself up to become a big producer or engineer or mixer or whatever, as in the old days, really. To be honest, I felt quite lost. I felt quite lost when that whole thing just crashed in and all the teachers and everyone became increasingly more negative about the state of the industry. And that's why also I, of course, couldn't find a job in the relevant field, so that's why I went to explore other options. But after working in Berlin, I realized that my passion for music cannot be extinguished, so I went back into music and tried to figure out what can be done. I narrowed down into mixing because it was the only thing that you don't need a massive studio for anymore, that can earn you money while also being on the move if you feel like it. And because it's one of the things that artists still would pay money for these days, because many artists prefer to record at home or maybe spend a day in a studio and then they would try to mix it themselves usually. They find out that they can't do it and then they would reach out to someone like me. I think the ability to listen to the music and understanding what the artist wants and bringing that out of the production is what makes a great mixing engineer. We have to forget about the tools, we have to forget about analog versus digital or this EQ or that compressor, it doesn't matter. If you don't have the ears and if you don't have the skill and the understanding to do what has to be done, then you will not mix well, ever, I think. For me, it took years, to be honest. It was a process of having more and more work, therefore I had less and less time to worry about what I do in terms of technicalities. Yet at the same time, I was forced to listen more and more closely and interact more with the artists as well. Once I didn't have the time anymore to spend, say, 2 days on mixes to try every possible EQ and compressor combination for one vocal, I just started going more with my instincts and I narrowed down my tool set to the few things that I know work and that I really like. So I would instantly know for a certain vocal what I have to use and how that will sound. And if it doesn't work, I'll try something else, that's fine. I do not engage a lot on social media. I hate social media. I do not post on groups. I spend the bare minimum necessary on Facebook. Sometimes when I get like a CD posted to me that I mixed a few months ago, like yesterday happened actually, I would post on Facebook that, hey, I just got this CD and look at how beautiful this is and I worked on it, yay. I would Instagram once a month when something amazing happens, but I have to force myself to do it because that's just not my thing. Maybe that's why I'm not more successful, right? Most of my friends and people who I'm involved with, they don't get work through social media, they get work through people they know. I would say the industry is still based on who you know and not on where you post and what you post. I developed my brand one through luck and one through my real effort. Luck was sound better, I have to admit. I signed up as a joke and then I did end up getting a job, and I thought, hey, maybe this is worth investing some more time on. And since then, this was 2-3 years ago, it has been really full on. Basically, I have a lot of work from there. At the same time, I also have 2 different homepages now. One is an older one, which I wanted to shut down, but I still get a lot of messages through that, so I can't stop it now. What I would say to kids starting out today is that it is important to work really hard and to stick to it and develop your skills as far as you can, where the thing you do becomes second nature and you don't have to worry about technicalities anymore and you can just focus on the music. And be friendly, make sure you're a social person, engaging with musicians, and yeah, good luck.